Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about why and how I started bullet journaling. Using this color scheme, I'll be styling my cover page, setting up my habit and markers, and my weekly spread for the month of April. Let's get started.
Yo, I got nah. I know say you be painting, nah. Yeah. The way where you they move, they make me go ga 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 ga. So what's your name? Say everything you they talk not true. Now what's your name? No be say I did from Chineke me. Now what's your name?
I started a bullet journal early this year and have actually been very consistent with its use. Since I don't have the best memory, I've always tried to do things like photography, journaling, making to-do lists, or keeping an agenda, but they never seem to stick. As I've gone through these struggles and errors, I've found that the best way to stay organized is to find a system that is the materialized version of how your brain works.
Christ, I don't know your name and the things that you like. Let's spend the day playing Kirk and Brian McKnight. Because one, you're like the dream come true, and then two, I wanna be with you, and then three, when we done, we probably end up back at one, sweet lady.
No be say they talk like you waka for your waka, nah. I know say you be painting, nah. Yeah. The way where you they move, they make me go ga 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 ga. So what's your name? Say everything you they talk not true. Now what's your name? No be say I did from Chineke me. Now what's your name? Oluwa can't take controller. You looking for love and it's not what you're used to. It's heaven and girl, it's real. So what's your name?
Cause I know it means something. You my African queen with them beats.
Last year, I made a vision board with quotes that have keywords which mean something to me. Although I forgot to make proper cover pages for January and February, my intention was always to use those same quotes in my bullet journal. For the month of April, my birthday month, yes, I am an Aries, I've decided to choose a quote that, upon reading it for the first time, brought back many childhood memories and emotions. No, I did not read the book that this quote is from, but the quote goes, "The moon is a loyal companion. It never leaves. It's always there, watching, steadfast, knowing us in our light and dark moments. Changing forever just as we do. Every day, it's a different version. Sometimes weak, sometimes strong and full of light. The moon understands what it means to be human. Uncertain, alone, cratered by I did a lot of purchasing of items, including things like washi tape and stickers. This month, my theme is obviously the moon and cherry blossoms. But once I got into March, I realized that I wasn't using my washi tape much, so I decided to start using it as a border book for each month.
Tick tock, the clock is ticking. Tick tock, the clock is ticking. So hurry up and swing my way, cause I've been going through it. You're my drug, I need a hit, or boy, I'm gonna lose it. Baby, you're so intoxicating. what you're waiting for. You know all I want is you. Your love's incomparable. Don't want nothing else, it's all you. Baby, please believe it. Baby, please believe it. Baby, please believe it. Baby, please believe it. Baby, please. It's funny how I medicate myself with you. It's funny how I dedicate myself to you. It's funny how I medicate myself with you. And it's funny I can never get enough of you. It's funny this prescription's so unusual. Not immune to you. Ooh, you know all I want is you. Your love's incomparable. I can't wait no more, come through. Baby, what you waiting for? You know all I want is you. Your love's incomparable. Don't want nothing else, it's all you. Baby, please. I know you know we know I'm weak when I'm surrounded by you. When I'm surrounded by you, baby, I just lose all control. When I'm surrounded by you, when I'm surrounded by you, you've been on my mind all day and I can't even take it. Hurry up and get here, babe, 'cause I'm getting impatient. Tick tock, I just wanna be surrounded by you, surrounded by you. Ooh, you know all I want is you. Your love's incomparable. I can't wait no more, come through. Baby, what you waiting for? You know all I want is you. Your love's incomparable. Don't want nothing else, it's all you. Baby, please believe it.
When I first started my bullet journal, I told a few people about it and even showed it to one of my friends. Although my spreads from January and February were not perfect, they were very close to what I am now using in March, and with a few changes post the start of the school year, I think I've come to a point where my bullet journal is going to be of optimal usefulness. However, the friend that I have shared my bullet journal with from its beginning is always confused by how I do my spreads, particularly for the weeks. Me being me, naturally, I did research before actually making my bullet journal. I even used a separate notebook I already owned to plan out how I was going to set things up. One thing I really liked from watching bullet journal YouTubers was the idea of Dutch doors. Knowing that I often forget things, I wanted to make sure that I could see a weekly to-do list while having space for full or half-page daily spreads. I started with half-page daily spreads to reduce the number of pages I would use, but school, i.e. work, started in March, and I found that I didn't have enough space for both work notes and personal journaling. One of the reasons I thought a bullet journal would be a good idea is to reduce the number of random papers that I write on to record how far I got in a particular class and what I wanted to do the following week. As much as I'd like to conserve space. Getting my work done is more of a priority, so I've decided that daily spreads will be a full page, minus the Dutch door effect, because that still really helps me. I'm hoping that with all this space, I'll be able to write down ideas for classes, as well as track my students' progress in the general schedule that I've prepared for them. I know that my spreads aren't as fanciful as some other people's are, but I definitely care more about the functionality of my daily and weekly spreads than I do about their aesthetic. That being said, I have come to enjoy the days leading up to the start of a new month because I get to plan the next month's spreads, decorate the cover page, and style my habit and mood trackers. For a few minutes a day, leading up to the Sunday before the start of the month, I have something that relaxes me outside of now. For that, I'm grateful.
I can just see mommy putting her hand in the air for this one, Sha. Go mommy, go mommy. This new SO Afro beats. I don't understand it, but I just like it. It's making me move. I'm shaku. Hey. I'm doing all the moves, all the new ones that I see on YouTube. I'm just doing it. I can't do the gosa, but I'm sure I tried. Mommy, don't hurt yourself. Okay. Go mommy, go mommy. Is it over? I don't know yet. But it seems like it's done. Okay, we're out.
We could drive along an ocean reflecting the sun, or make a bed of green atop a wide open scene. Under a canvas of blue, I would draw ever nearer to you, to feel the dew on your skin. That is how it would begin. For summer is for falling in love. Sunsets past 8, and the cotton candy haze mirrors the warmth of your gaze. Raise your glass to mine, and as we drink, we would lock eyes, so we could disregard the thought of ever having to part. For summer is for falling in love. Lightness of being, we both know to be fleeting, like the last breath of a sunset right before the day is dead. But maybe the heat of today could keep even winter away. So I'll remember your laugh, 'cause nothing ever changes the fact that summer is for falling in love. Da-dun-da-dun-day. Summer is for falling in love.
I didn't know if this would be a good fit for me, but the creativity, personalization, and overall effectiveness of this system has worked for me so far. As someone who could once barely write one journal entry for the entire year, I'm so happy that now I have a space that's not intimidating, because this whole notebook isn't a blank canvas for my thoughts alone. Even if I have nothing to say about the day or my mood, I can at least record something I want to remember short term. The inability to leave a space blank is my biggest draw to bullet journal so far. As this video comes to a close, I would love to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
We had an agreement, you got greedy, then you double back. That's a no-no. How you thought you get away with that? If you switching up, I might